In this video, we will cover creating sheets with the correct title block, creating revisions, and adding revision information to sheets. In this project, we'll create a sheet for the ground floor electrical plan view, and then we'll add the view to the sheet. To create a sheet, scroll down to the Sheets branch in the project browser, and then right-click the branch and select New Sheet. This opens the New Sheet dialog, and you can select the title block you want to use for the sheet. I'll select E1 30 by 42 and then click OK. When Revit creates the sheet, you can see that it automatically numbers the sheet. But you can expand the Sheets branch in the project browser, right-click a sheet and select Rename. I'll number this sheet E101, and then I'll name it I'll name it Ground Floor Electrical. And then click OK. Be aware that in the title block family, you can add parameters, such as the sheet name and the sheet number. And then you can select the title block and click a parameter in order to activate it if you want to adjust that parameter right on the sheet in the drawing area. To add a sheet to a view, you can select it in the project browser and then drag and drop it onto the sheet. When I do, you can then see the viewport attached to the cursor. And you can click to place the viewport on the sheet. Afterwards, you can select the viewport and move it as needed. Also, with the viewport selected, be aware that there are dot controls on the view title line, and you can adjust the length of the line as needed. If you want to move the view title, you need to deselect the viewport and then select the view title, and then you can drag it to move it as needed. I'll select the viewport again and then click Edit Type. You can have multiple types of viewports, and as you can see, the parameters here are title, show extension line, and then line weight, color, and line pattern. So at a minimum, you may want to have at least two viewport types, one where you show the title and one where you don't show the title. And this is useful for details and legends and so on and so forth. And then you can adjust the view title family that's used. You can create one of those and then load it into the project, and you could select it here. I'll click OK to close the Type Properties dialog, and then we will take a look at revision information. In a title block family, you can create a revision schedule and then add it to the title block family, and it'll appear on your sheets. Now, to populate that, you can add revisions or sheet issue information. And to do that, switch to the View ribbon, and then in the Sheet Composition panel, click Revisions. And this opens the Sheet Issues Revisions dialog. To begin, there is a default revision or sheet issue, and you can control the revision number. And first off, you can set the numbering method to either numeric or alphanumeric, or even none if you don't want any numbering method. And then you can control the numbering options. When you click numeric, it'll open the Customize Numbering Options dialog, and there are two tabs, numeric and alphanumeric. For numeric, you can control the starting number, and then you can add a prefix or a suffix if you wish. For alphanumeric, you can control the characters that are used in the sequence, and you can separate them by a comma. And then once again, you can add a prefix or a suffix. I'll click OK to close this dialog, and then you can control the date, the revision description, and then after it's issued, you can select Issued, but notice that when you do, everything becomes unavailable. It's dimmed and you cannot adjust those fields. And so we'll deselect Issued until we actually issue it. Then you can control who it's issued to and who it's issued by. And then in the show column, you can choose whether you want to show the cloud and the tag for that revision, or just the tag, or nothing at all. To add additional revisions, click Add in this dialog, and it'll add additional revisions. And then you can control the numbering method, and this can be per project or per sheet. Per project will number the revisions based on the, as you see right here in this dialog, the revision number and the order that they are in this list. Per sheet will change it to number it based on the revisions that are actually on the sheet. When you select that, you'll get a dialog telling you that it's going to change, and you can choose whether or not you actually want to do that. I'll click No for this example, and we'll leave it set to per project. You can also select individual rows, and you can move revisions up or down. And you can also merge revisions. You can merge it with the revision above or below it. Or you can simply delete a revision altogether if you want to remove those clouds and tags. For example, I'll select two revisions in the list, and I'll click delete, and as you can see, it says that these will be removed along with all associated clouds and tags. Once a revision has been issued, it cannot be deleted or merged with another revision. I'll deselect issued, and we will leave these two revisions in the project, and I'll click OK. And then I can create a revision cloud and assign it to one of those revisions. Or if I don't have a revision that I'm adding to a view that's placed on a sheet, I can still add that revision information to the title block. And to do that, with the properties palette showing the parameters for the sheet, scroll down to revisions on sheet and click edit. And this opens the revisions on sheet dialog, and you can choose whether or not to show each revision. So I'll select shown in revision schedule for each of these and click OK. And then that revision information is populated in the revision schedule in the title block.